Hi there, good afternoon, or rather good noon. How have you been? How's your day treating you? And even more importantly, how is your CAT preparation shaping up? Huh? With every passing day, you realize we are inching closer to the D-Day, and that all important day for us is going to be in the month of November. In all probability, it is going to be 26th of November. Now, I'm saying in all probability because CAT usually happens on the fourth Sunday of November. So, although the notification is not out, but let's treat that as the day by which we need to be absolutely solidly prepared. Now, one of the questions that a lot of people ask me is how to get that top rank in the exams. And this session is all about taking you a step closer to that. You are on BYJU'S exam prep channel dedicated to your success as a CAT aspirant. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to us so that you get to see every single video that we prepare so lovingly for you. My name is Vikrant. I've been helping aspirants reach their dream B schools for 22 years now. And during this period, I have helped thousands of them to reach their goals. And I am going to be your personal coach for all things related to English and communication skills on this particular channel. And today we are going to talk about how to ace the verbal ability and reading comprehension segment of the CAT. And when we say ace, let's just define it. We have a goal in mind, and our goal is to get at least 99 percentile, if not more, in the VARC section. So the moment you reach that top 1% group, you can definitely be considered the elitist performer, right? So that 1% is what we are really after. So if you have any questions, any concerns throughout this session, use the comment box, the chat window rather liberally, and I aim to address every query that I can during the course of this particular session. So now that we have defined our goal, 99 percentile and above in the VARC section, let us put some numbers to it. So if I take you to the last 5 years of CAT exams, what do you see? CAT 2018 had 34 questions. 19 also had 34 questions. And in both of these years, the total number of questions was 100. Then we had CAT 2020. That was the pandemic affected CAT for us, and the IMs actually had to go on and make some adjustments rather quickly in order to conduct the exam. They had to increase the number of slots and all that. So the total number of questions did, of course, go down. And therefore, the English questions also, of course, went down, right? Then 21 and 22 were both of these years when we have seen a stable pattern emerging where we were given 24 questions in CAT, in the VARC section, 20 in DILR, another 22 in the quant. So we had 76 questions in all. Now, if I look at the marks versus percentiles for these years, then this is the equation that you'd see. So I am going to focus on this particular column. These scores are scores out of 108. Remember, CAT has +3 and -1, whereas this was out of 78, and these two are scores out of 72. Okay, so typically this is how the equation will pan out. Now, instead of looking at the entire table and then worrying, bothering, calculating, how about focusing on only CAT 21 and 22? Because in all likelihood, that is the pattern that you and I should see this year. So we should still expect 24 questions, or maybe if they revert to CAT 2020, maybe 26. But the most educated guess at this juncture will be that they'd stick to 24 questions in the VARC section, or if you look at a range 24 to 26. So let's pick up the last 2 years. Just 21 and 22. So in CAT 22, the most recent exam conducted, if you could get 13 questions net correct, you would have been in the top 1%. And the same number in CAT 21 was 15 questions net correct. So imagine out of 24, you just need to get, if you attempt 15 questions, get all of them right, you're there. Or in 22, the paper was a little tougher. So even 13 questions could have propelled you there. So if your preparation is such that you are aiming for around 80% accuracy, then, and 100% is of course a mirage, we don't even chase that, we may end up making a few mistakes. We are basically targeting 17 to 18 questions, right? So this number coupled with 80% accuracy will put you in that top league. So that's your goal. And I'm very confident about you. You know, even today, I think if you pick up the CAT exam, you should be able to attempt 6-7 questions and get them right for sure. So it's just a matter of adding some 11-12 more questions over the next 7 months in order to reach that goal of ours. So this session will tell you how you can move towards that particular goal, that particular target. So there you go. So how do we start a preparation? The very first thing that we have done in all the exams so far in our life is to figure out the syllabus. If we don't know the syllabus, how would we even start our preparation? Now the next thing is not something that you may have always done, and that is identify the skills and vast area. So when you look at your syllabus, you'd notice that your syllabus basically has two things. You are supposed to acquire some knowledge and you are supposed to develop some skills, right? Now within knowledge, there are some areas that are tiny, you can think of them as chapters. But then there are some areas which are very vast. So why do we do this basic categorization? Why do we identify the vast areas and the skills? The reason is that for skills, you need to practice every day in order to become really good. And for vast areas, it's not about practicing, but then the area is vast, right? Come to think of it, if I give you an example, GK, if we are not working on it every day, will we be able to get a great job done? And we are chasing that greatness. You are somebody who wants to top this particular exam. So any area which is vast like GK, English also has a few such areas, are areas that you need to work on every day. So put them aside, and then the rest of them are basically chapters. So identify the sequence in which you want to attempt. You realize there are some chapters which are a precursor to some other chapters. There are some concepts which you need to know beforehand in order to attempt some other more challenging, complicated, bigger question later. Right? We learn arithmetic first. It's only then that we go to algebra. Right? And within arithmetic too, you realize things like ratio, proportion, percentages. These are things that we generally study first. So English also happens to have a similar sequence. So you need to figure out that sequence. And once all of this is in place, all that you need to do is get going. Just start your preparation. Show up for work every day, execute this plan, and you're done. So let me help you with these points. So first up, look at the VARC in the CAT exam. So a major chunk of it is reading comprehension. In fact, if I put a number to it, I'd say up to 67% of the section is VARC traditionally, and the rest of it is composed by this area called verbal ability. So on any given year, if you open the CAT paper, you'd see verbal ability questions, you'd see reading comprehension questions. That is why in CAT, we typically end up calling it the VARC section. But the truth is, these are not the only two areas that you need to prepare. English preparation looks more like a pyramid. which consists of a lot of different things which are not even visible. So if you get into the finer detail, let me take you through the last 3 years. So CAT 2020, 26 questions of English out of a total number of 76 questions. And then here's the breakup. So you notice a lot of reading comprehension, and within verbal ability, these are the 3 question types that you get. Then CAT 21, 24 out of a total number of 66 questions. And that's your breakup. See that? Once again, reading comprehension plus the same 3 question types. CAT 22, 24 questions out of 66. Well, I think I even earlier ended up saying 76. My bad. 66 for the last 2 years. Once again, the exact same pattern. The only difference is, so far, the third question type of VA was paragraph odd one out. But in 22, they introduced paragraph completion, or rather I should say reintroduced, because as a concept, this is something that has been tested previously. It was just a novel interpretation or novel presentation of that concept. So superficially, we may feel that, okay, CAT is all about going through reading comprehension plus 4 verbal ability question types. But the truth is, you can break English down into these 5 components. So I think of VA and RC as the tip of the iceberg. These are the visible parts in the exam, but the truth is there are a lot of other things that lie below that you need to work on in order to become excellent at even VA and RC. So verbal reasoning, for example, well, that is the foundation of our entire course. Anybody who is not good at verbal reasoning is unlikely to get above average score in the VARC section. And then when it comes to vocabulary and grammar, both of these are knowledge based areas. They may not be directly relevant, but you would notice there are some exams, non-CAT exams, where you get direct questions as well. And then these areas even help you with the reading comprehension. They enhance your level of comprehension. They increase your accuracy. Even in verbal ability, even in parajumbles, these things can help you notice the clues that are otherwise invisible to the most. So RC is a skill-based area, VA is a technique-based area. These are the 2 that you see, but in reality, your preparation should encompass all of these 5 things that are here on the screen. So how do you prepare? So first up, verbal reasoning. One area that you would like to start with is syllogism. Now, syllogism gets asked in practically a lot of those non-CAT exams, but then when I talk about the CAT, I even then want you to go through syllogism because it is precursor to verbal logic or verbal reasoning. So once you know syllogisms, it's an easy area. Using this, you get a hang of reasoning very quickly, and that trains your mind to think in a specific, structured, planned manner. And that can be very useful. So once you've gone through syllogisms, the next area that you should pick up is logical connectives. Why? Well, for the CAT, you can actually skip it if you want to, but now that you've done syllogisms, there is no harm in going through logical connectives, which will help you in some questions that are asked in the logic section. And as a continuation, you'd find it very easy. So typically, I think around a week for syllogisms is enough to master it. Maybe another 2-3 days to logical connectives, 4 days, and you should be done. And after that, the area that is really very important, and that is critical reasoning. So give 2-3 weeks to critical reasoning. Make sure that you're conceptually very sound here. Make sure that your accuracy rate has reached 80%. It's only then that I want you to move over to the other areas. So critical reasoning has a lot of different question types. So there is this one basic question type called identify the assumption. Make sure that you start off by being very comfortable with this question type. Then identify the inference. Now you know why I am talking about critical reasoning. Then there are these questions that ask you to strengthen or weaken an argument. Then there is this particular question type which is called parallel structure arguments or analogous arguments. Then there are 2-3 more question types. Once you start solving them, you would see them. But I've written these for because in CAT 22, 11 of your 16 RC questions were actually of these 4 varieties, or these 5 varieties if you count strengthening and weakening as separate question types. 11. So if you're conceptually weak here, if you do not have that clarity of approach, then those 11 questions, well, that is where your accuracy would have suffered. And that is why it is extremely important for you to start with critical reasoning and master it. Okay? So that's about verbal reasoning. After that, you can definitely get into verbal ability. So my suggestion is a lot of people start with parajumbles. I have a slightly different take. I believe that you should start with paragraph summary. Now, why paragraph summary? There are 2 reasons. Number 1, it is a question type that gets asked. But number 2, something even more important. In all of these paragraph summary questions, you learn to take out the gist or the key idea of a paragraph. You learn to identify that. And this is something that is very important for reading comprehension too. If you can do it for every paragraph of a passage, you realize you would have a fabulous overview of the passage. Your accuracy in main idea questions, suitable title questions, primary purpose questions, that will, my God, skyrocket. And therefore, I think it's a great idea to start with paragraph summary and master it. Now, once you have gone through paragraph summary, you can look at parajumbles, right? And along with it, in between, a little while from now, I'd also ask you to start writing. So by then you'd have a bit of writing under your belt. And then when you go to parajumbles, you'd find these easier. Those of you who do not know, parajumbles is a question type where the examiner picks up some sentences of a paragraph. It may not be a complete paragraph, okay? It can be some sentence of a paragraph. They can also, if you look at the past year papers, they can even be paragraphs or sentences picked up from different paragraphs. You never know. But then typically the examiner will pick up some sentence of a paragraph. In the CAT, for the last few years, they've been picking up 4 sentences. Then they jumble those sentences. They jumble them up. And then you are given those jumbled up sentences, and then they ask you to figure out the most logical way of arranging those sentences to form a paragraph. So that's parajumbles for you. Then paragraph odd one out. They give you 5 sentences. 4 of them belong to the same paragraph. 1 does not. The one that does not is the one that you are looking for. Sorry. Okay. So it is in a way an extension of parajumbles, because every bit of understanding that you acquire for parajumbles is the understanding that helps you excel at this particular question type as well. Then move towards this new question type, that reintroduction called paragraph completion. Your understanding of the paragraph that you acquired using the previous 2 question types, parajumbles, paragraph odd one out, will still be very relevant. You'd use more or less similar clues. It's just that your technique will change a bit. That's about it. Okay, so that's for verbal ability. Attempt or master these 4 question types in the order in which we have shared it with you right here. And additionally, if you want to dig deeper into each one of these question types, you want to work with me on those questions, we keep on conducting these sessions at this channel. So make sure that you're subscribed so that you become aware of all of those sessions. Okay. Now let us dive into reading comprehension. So what do I want you to do in reading comprehension? First up, it is a skill. and therefore the practice is really important. So what sort of practice? First up, please make sure that you attempt 10 RC passages every week. So here is a suggested plan. So Monday to Saturday, go through one RC passage. And on Sunday, sit down and solve 4 RC passages in one go, in a single seating. So you can change the day. Instead of Sunday, you can choose to solve these 4 passages on a Saturday or a Wednesday, whatever works for you. But one day a week, 4 passages all together. And for the rest of the 6 days, 1 RC passage every day. And this is just a start, right? Once May is over, we'll look at our accuracy rate and then we may choose to increase it. So if you realize that by the end of May, let's say your accuracy rate has reached 70%, increase it. If it has not reached 70% yet, it's below 70%. In that case, let's stick to these 10 RC passages. But what you need to do is, every question that goes wrong, sit down and analyze it. Try and figure out why it went wrong. Is it that you do not know what you are supposed to do in this particular question? For example, if the question asks you to identify the inference, do you know what an inference is? Or if it is a question that asks you for the purpose of the passage, do you know the different types of purposes that exist that you can then think on and decide on the right answer? So you see all of that. Focus on those mistakes. See what went wrong. Is it the question? Is it your approach? Is it that you get stuck between 2 answer choices and are not able to come out? So there are 20 such question types in RC. You can think of each one of these 20 question types as a chapter for yourself, where you would want to ensure that you've gone through each one of those chapters and you've understood them well. Additionally, please make sure that you engage in 25 minutes of reading every day. At the end of the day, let us not forget that it is a skill, right? And for skills, you need to, of course, put in that elbow grease, put in that sweat in order to become better, right? And in case your concern is, oh, what should I read? There are 2 things. You can read long form articles. There you go. And of course, you can read books. So when it comes to the long form articles, you can use the New York Times, the Guardian, some more resources like the Smithsonian, Scientific American, and then of course this one name that I'm sure a lot of people have shared with you, Ion Essays. In fact, my primary source for philosophy and psychology articles of late is Ion Essays. So I've already read quite a few books and I think I just use them as refreshers now, right? So that's basically it for reading. And then finally, you may require special work on these 3 areas. So I don't even need to tell you why reading speed is important. But then retention, if your accuracy rate in main idea questions is low, or in case you are not able to go back to the right area to answer a particular question, you end up reading the entire passage some 2-3 times while looking for those answers. Then you know that you can work on retention in order to become better. And finally, comprehension, of course. So there are quite a few comprehension based questions in the exam. The most direct comprehension based question is the one where the examiner picks up a sentence from a passage, gives it to you, and then asks you for the correct meaning of that passage, of that line. Now, so if your accuracy rate in those question types is below 70%, then that's a very clear indicator that you need to start working on enhancing your level of comprehension as well. And in my classes, I focus on each one of these 3 things and I give you enough tools that help you move ahead, become better in a structured manner, day after day, week after week. And after those 3 areas, now there are 3 more things on your daily agenda. that I'd love to see. Those three things are vocabulary, grammar, and writing. Vocabulary and grammar, because these are very vast areas, and writing because it is a skill that is going to be very useful for all the paragraph based questions. Not only that, once you're shortlisted on the basis of your CAT score and profile, the next round involves a VAT, a written ability test. And because it's a skill, you won't be able to improve it significantly in those 4 to 6 weeks that you may have in between your call and your next round. But what can you do? Let me give you some more inputs here. So when it comes to vocabulary, just take out 20 minutes every day from your calendar. In these 20 minutes, your job is to learn new words using any tool, any technique that you are aware of. Okay, so it can be a word list. It can be a root word approach based book. Remember something like Word Power Made Easy by Norman Lewis? It can be a book that uses any other association method. Remember association methods? They aim at enhancing your retention of the words by linking those words with some idea, some image, some sound, etc. Right? So any tool technique that you know, please make sure that you put in those 20 minutes every day. Show up and deliver it. It is going to be very, very, very important for us. Similarly, when it comes to grammar, pick up any basic book. And your goal is to read this book twice at the rate of 7 pages every day if you're starting today. If you delay it, then the job can turn out to be different. Then it can be more challenging for you. Okay, so please don't delay and start working straight away. So that's it from me. Now you need to take ownership and make it a point that you bring in a change to your strategy, bring in a change to your study plan. Otherwise, things won't change. And if you need our help, please remember we are just a message away. We have started this series called 100 Most Expected CMAT Questions. You can go through this if you want to practice more or if you're targeting CMAT. Additionally, you have this series happening where we take you through 500 most expected CAT questions on this very channel. So all of these sessions, okay, that and this, they ensure that you are able to spend quality time with a faculty member, solving questions together and getting your doubts resolved then and there. And for even more practice, you can head over to our app, okay, BYJU'S Exam Prep app, where every day we give you a section-wise quiz. Plenty of practice material for you. And if you need more help and you want to join this elite group of people who got great scores in the CAT, we have our amazing program where we take care of every aspect of your CAT preparation, and the program also includes preparation of group discussions and interviews subsequently. Okay, so it's not that we'd stop there, but look at the features. Now tell me, the very first thing, 300 plus videos. So that's like more than 130 hours of recorded lectures available. Then more than 200 hours of live classes, more than 75 mock tests that focus on the CAT as well as the other exams, more than 10,000 practice questions. What more can you ask for? And in order to make it easy for you to join us, we have our next scholarship test happening on 29th of April. If you perform great, if you perform well in that exam, well, you can actually get up to 90% off on the program fees. So it's as tempting as it gets. So do consider it. And we are wherever you are, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Telegram. Please make sure that you subscribe to us or join us or follow us so that you can remain associated with us, and so that even more importantly, all of your concerns, your queries can get resolved rather early. So in case you found this session useful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Until I see you next, stay safe, stay focused, stay in touch. And we are hearing, I've heard that COVID cases are increasing, so it's a great opportunity for you to stay home and stay focused on your preparation. So keep putting in that hard work, and I'm sure you'd succeed. So until we meet next, have a great time. See you.